Welcome back to Roscoe's World Radio. Today we're going to explore the real lives of American cowboys. The iconic image of American cowboy is defined by one colossal task, the cattle drive. These migrations were far more brutal and complex than the movies show. The primary goal was to move herds of Texas longhorns hundreds of miles north to the railheads in Kansas, a journey that defined the era. A drive from Texas to places like Abilene or Dodge City typically took 2 to 3 months, moving a slow, steady pace for only 10 to 12 miles per day. Any faster and the cattle would lose too much weight, costing the rancher money. The single drive was often consisted of 2,000 to 3,000 heads of cattle, guided by a small crew of only 12 to 15 men. At the top was the trail boss, who earned the most, around $100 a month. They were responsible for everything: scouting, negotiating with settlers, managing the crew, and ensuring the herd arrived healthy. Their word was law. The most experienced rider took the lead position, the point, riding at the front to guide the herd and set the pace. This was the cleanest and least dusty job. Riding along the sides were the flank and the swing riders, responsible for keeping the herd spread out and preventing stragglers from veering off. These were mid-level positions. The most hated job was the drag, riding at the rear. These cowboys ate the thick, choking dust kicked up by thousands of hooves for 10 hours a day. It was often the job of the youngest or least experienced hands, and sometimes assigned as punishment. The horse wrangler, often a young boy, was in charge of the ramada, a horse herd. Since a cowboy rode 3 to 4 different horses a day, the wrangler had a crucial 24/7 job of keeping 60 to 100 horses together and ready. The greatest danger was a stampede. They could be triggered by a lightning strike, a sudden noise, or even a nervous cow. The goal in a stampede wasn't to stop them instantly, but to ride a herd to the front and turn the leader in a wide circle until the cattle exhausted themselves. At night, cowboys rode shifts around the bedded herd, often singing songs. This wasn't just to stay awake. The singing calmed the cattle, assuring them a human presence was near, which was crucial to preventing a sudden panic. River crossings were terrifying. Longhorns often balked at entering the water, and once in, the current was brutal. Most cowboys could not swim, so a slip by a horse or a rider often meant drowning. The great trail drives faded in the late 1800s due to the expansion of railroads further into Texas and the invention of barbed wire, which carved up the open range. The classic trail drive through brief remains the pinnacle of cowboy life. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. This has been Joshua Marchant with Roscoe's World Radio. I'll see you in the next one.